la la la. La 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 la. La la. La.
So welcome back, friends. Hi, my name is Lita, and I read cards. Yes, you're getting not so cute blah house mom Lita today. It doesn't really matter, does it? We're here to talk about cards. Today's topic is, so you decided you want to get into cartomancy. I believe some people say cartomancy. I don't say cartomancy. Okay, there's a few things you want to consider when you first get started. The first thing you want to consider is what will you be most comfortable with? The first thing I would suggest you consider is your learning style. If you are the type of person that grasps, say, visually, imagery, things like that, make it easier for you to learn something, I would say dive right in, but make sure you get a deck that is visual. There used to be a time where I would have said, and this is for any system. Maybe I should start off with how to pick a system. Let's start off with how to pick a system. What kind of system do you think you want to get into? There's so many different card systems, okay? So we have tarot, we have Lenormand, we have Kipper, we have shit, there's another one. Oh shit. I mean, we have playing cards, but there's a whole nother system. What is that other system called? Y'all know I have. Oh. Sibylla. I should have pulled her out. Sorry, Sybil. The deeper you get, the more systems there are. You could be like me. You could start getting into Asian systems. Anything can be turned into a card system, honestly, okay? I prefer Oracle. All types of Oracle cards to tarot any day. But there are some situations where I feel like tarot is king. But let's discuss that quickly, because I don't want this to be a long ass video. Okay, I don't really think that helps in the learning process, when your teacher's just okay. You must consider your communication style. If you're the type of person that looks at something and you say, all right, here it is, A, B, C, all right? And it has to be done this way, that way, or that way. Or this thing is going to happen or that thing is going to happen, right? To me, because other people think it's tarot, but I don't think so. I think Lenormand is your system, and I'll tell you why. Lenormand is a card system of basic concepts, okay? Let's ask a question real quick and I'll show you what I mean as far as it being a ABC type of system. So let's say, how do men see me? That's a good one. I'm going to pull 3 cards. How do men see me? Okay. So we have 3 cards here, right? The first one is the heart. This is A. A is the heart. So A is they see me as being loving. Okay. I'm capable of giving love and apparently I give it. Okay. Because that's how they see it. B is the cross. Now this could mean a couple different things. It could mean that they think I'm spiritual. It could mean that they believe I have faith in things. But more than likely, it means that they think there's difficulties in dating me. There are crosses that have to be bared. If you're dealing with me, okay, there are problems that come along with me, right? And the last one is this is not like a regular card. This is an additional card to the deck, but it is a clock. It would mean that they believe I'm like clockwork, okay? I may My workings may be intricate, okay, but they work the same way. Once you learn my program, once you learn how I am, you'll know what to expect with me, okay? But it may take a while getting to know me, okay? This is how men see me. Now, if I was to ask tarot the same question, how do men see me? This is where I believe tarot is more for talkers. People that like to explore the philosophy of things, or the deeper side, duality, dual meanings and shit. Let's see. How do men see me? Boom, boom, and boom. Okay. First card is going to be the Hermit. So we could probably guess that the cross was probably the same as the Hermit. But here's the difference in the Hermit. When you see the Hermit could mean so many different things. It could mean that they see me as a loner. It could mean that they see me on a spiritual journey. It could mean that they see me as a loner who's on a spiritual journey, who's unavailable right now because of my spiritual journey. And in order to deal with me, you have to be able to accept that, because there will be times where I will be totally unavailable. You see what I'm saying? You see the difference in the language? Okay, so like the second card is the King of Pentacles, okay? Maybe they see me as financially stable. Maybe they see me as a provider. Maybe they see me as someone that can make physical things come into existence. Maybe they see me as the head of my household. Maybe they see me as all those things. Now, you see what I'm saying when I say tarot is more of a system for people who talk. Here's another one. Five of Wands. Okay, does it mean that they think I'm combative? Does it mean that they think if they deal with me, I have a lot of competition? Like there are a lot of men, trying to get at me? Or does it mean that I like competition? Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, tarot is a system. If you like to explore, deeper concepts, variable meanings. Some people feel like tarot can get more exact. I don't necessarily feel that way. I think any card system or any form of divination can become extremely specific based off of your knowledge level. Okay, so when you pick your system, excuse my daughter in the background, she's walked right on in the middle of the video, huh? Yeah, say hi, Zion. Okay, that's Zion. That's my youngest child. So depending on your style of communication, that's going to be the biggest thing when you decide what system you want to start with. So let's say you've decided you want to get into oracles. You don't know what kind of oracle to get into. Think about what type of wisdom you like. If you like just reading regular books, you could be a book nerd. Most intuitive people are book nerds, and they first learn how to be intuitive by the things that they just pick up in books. Books teach you a lot of social like interactions or social situations, and it teaches you how to read other social situations too. So if you're into that, I would say get a literary oracle. You're into dream books, you know deciphering dreams, get a lane on mine, or any of them for that sake, because that's just symbolism. Personally, when we move further and I start talking about, I'm gonna teach you guys my system. I feel like my system crosses all forms of divination. Symbolism is king, but we're not gonna go there. So at any rate, you need to decide if you like a certain culture. I would go with a deck that follows that culture. Even if you're into tarot, there's so many types of tarot decks. There used to be a time where I believe that everybody should start reading tarot with a Rider Waite. I don't live in that place anymore. I kind of feel like you need to get a deck that speaks to you. But I will say this. I do suggest for beginners that you invest in a box set with a book. Don't use your book as a crutch, but use your book as a reference. I say that to say this. Reading is really all about seeing the cues. Okay. What should I point? Okay, so like I just asked, what should I point out to you guys? Divination is a form of art that is intended to take you from rough waters to smooth waters. Okay. This would be your card system. See, it has the sun over it. It's the illumination. It's the thing that lets you in on the shit that you didn't know before, okay? And here you are. I want you to notice something. Do you see the cars are driving the boat, but you ain't staring at the boat driver? You don't even have your eyes open, okay? You see how you're holding something and you're just trusting? This is what happens when you practice divination, okay? There comes a point where you're not focused on the definitions. You're not focused on any of that. It's a feeling, okay? It's what you're feeling. The same way that I just asked this card, I asked for a card to tell you guys what to do. You need to just get on the boat, okay? And you need to let the cards take you, where they're taking you. And you just need to relax and understand the message instead of studying the message. That's my biggest tip for new readers, okay? Just so I can show you guys a few different types of cards. So we have, oh, this is, well, you might not be able to tell that because a lot of times you'll be shopping offline. Why is my phone blowing up like that? This is so rude of me, but it's just like, oh, my daughters are arguing. There's no peace in my house today. I'm so glad they didn't start arguing again while I was doing this video for y'all. I have 4 daughters. If you didn't know, I have 4 daughters. I have one that's almost 21 and I have 17-year-old twins. Please believe it is always some action going on in this house. Okay, so outside of that, let's get back into it. Okay, so you have tarot. If you have small hands, I would suggest you buy a mini tarot deck. They work just as well. I know some people don't buy mini tarot decks because it's like, well, it's not a real tarot. It's a real tarot deck. If you got little hands, sis, or bruh, or whatever you identify as, get you a little deck. I love little decks. I love little decks just because I just like the way they fit in my hands. To be perfectly honest with you, my favorite decks are playing card decks. If you watch some of my older videos, you'll know that. What I was going to say is I would even suggest that if this is your first deck, I would suggest you make your first deck. I wouldn't even, there used to be a time where I would suggest you take a playing card deck and use this as a tarot deck minus the major arcana. I don't even believe that anymore. I would believe the best thing for you to do is to get a deck of cards. If you've seen an oracle system that you like, look it up. Look up the cards that's in the oracle system and write them down on your cards and learn the symbolism that way. I just believe it's easier to learn something that you've created yourself. Okay, but this is a homemade oracle deck. This one has shit, I forgot what they're called. Little phrases. They're not colloquialisms. What are they called? I forgot what they're called, but hold on, let me see. Give me one to tell them right now. A fool and his money are soon parted. Fitting because we're talking about card systems when you first start. It is more frugal to make your own deck, but the point is if you pulled this out in the middle of a reading, you would know that you need to tell them something about watching their money. Don't be so quick to throw your money at everything, okay? These decks are king, I promise you. Handmade decks are king. There are a lot of readers that believe no deck should be bought anyways. They shouldn't be sold. They shouldn't be bought. And if they are sold, they should be gifted. I would take it one further. I would say when you first start thinking, you need to make your own deck, okay? There are Kipper decks, okay? I don't know if Kipper is Austrian, uh, German. I'm not sure, but from somewhere in the area. But let me show you what type of cards. Please give me 2 cards to show them what's in Kipper, because you may not know. You may not have been on my page before. So here's one. It says his thoughts, and the other one says a journey. Okay, so this combination is telling you that your mind is going to take you on a journey, or the journey is within your thoughts. Okay, where you're going with your card systems has everything to do with what are you focusing on in your mind, what are you thinking about. Okay, these are the type of cards you'll see in Kipper. All right, they're very similar to Le Normand. Le Normand. Fun fact: Le Normand, or as Americans so lovingly like to call them, Lenormand, or Lenormand, or I don't know, but I know you've heard that. Is a deck named after a French card reader. Okay, and she, I don't even think she created the deck. Someone else created the deck, and she was known for reading with them. Her name was Mademoiselle Lenormand, and she was a world famous card reader, and so the cards got rebranded with her name, and that's how you get that. But Lenormand is more of a single picture set system. To be built upon, expanded upon. Okay. Also, in the bottom corners of Lenormand are playing card numbers, so you can also use playing card definitions or tarot definitions based off of the playing card. These you get. I feel like Lenormand is a system you get more bang for your buck. And I think that if you are truly intuitive, this, as far as bought systems go, king. This is a chatty system. Sibylla della Zangara, or there's so many different types of Sibyllas, but Sibyllas. Okay, so Sibylla are is it the Italian counterpart to Lenormand? I want to say it's Italian. But these cards are a little more gossipy in nature. See, like you have like the house, the Lord, fortune. I mean, they have little picture cues, reunion, but it's talking about different shit than other card systems talk about. I did Kipper. I did this one once. Now this is where things get fun for me as far as Cartomancy goes. So people tell fortunes with everything. Dominoes. If you got domino cards, you could do fucking wonders with those too. Anything can be used as a cue, okay? But around the world, people do use mahjong to tell fortunes, and with it being in a card system, this is easier than carrying around the tiles. Now I'm gonna show you something I don't think I've shown on camera before, but when you work with multiple systems, you often will need a reference check. You know, I mean, I know this is the 7 stars card. This is a heaven card. But point is I read over 10 different systems on a daily basis. A lot of times I will forget shit. Here's something that you can do. I got these little things for 88 cents at Walmart, cheaper than at the dollar store, and better quality. Okay, 88 cents at the Walmart. Get your piece of scrapbook and paper, put it in there, and print off. I actually vocally made these. You know, I'd spoken to the computer and let it type it up for me or whatever. I made I made cues for myself, but you can see it says the suit and then the number and what they mean. And this way they're pretty. They can sit on the desk whenever you need to check, because things like, that's what I'm saying, things like these, they're not written in English. They don't have names on them. So okay, say like this is 3 of character, right? This is the Earth card. Okay, it has to do with travel. But see, I had to look over here because I couldn't exactly remember, was it Earth or was it Luke? You see what I'm saying? Cheat sheets are necessary, people. They are necessary. If you think that when you go to see a doctor, okay, and you think that they don't ever have to pull out a reference, like, you sound stupid. Reading cards is extremely complicated. You are diagnosing situations, problems, resolutions, solutions, things like that. Okay, you will need cheat sheets. The reason why I suggested at the beginning that when you get a tarot to get one with a book system if you buy one, is because when you get in here, sometimes there are certain cards, there are a lot of cards that people are constantly misreading. There's this whole intuitive wave, we'll call it a wave. I don't disagree with the wave, but I also kind of, stop waving at the people while I'm over here doing this. Go follow Zion. She has her own channel where she does drawing tutorials. It's called Will Doodle for Food, right?
Yeah.
WILLDOODLAFORFOOD. Okay, it's on YouTube. All right, let's block her.
Yeah.
There are cards that people claim that they're reading intuitively, but I notice they're all reading it the same way. So I don't know how intuitively they're reading it, but what I feel like is a couple of readers said that the card meant that, and then everybody else now thinks it means that, and it doesn't mean that. One of my biggest pet peeve cards. Oh, this is my grandfather. He just had a birthday. He fell out. He must want to say hello. Okay. Temperance. If you're on this page, you'll hear me rant about this bullshit all the time. Temperance is a card that often people get all the way wrong. Everybody's, oh, it means be patient. Oh, it means something's coming. No, 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 no. Rarely does temperance mean that. And a book will help you to understand that, because a book like this, and it has the imagery on it, points to certain imagery, and it tells you, it says, I'm going to give you a prime example. This one says, description. Okay, you ready? While the hanged man represents physical restraint, temperance symbolizes spiritual restraint. Okay, it doesn't mean don't move forward. Okay, love and life are precious and fragile, and they must be handled with care. Temperance is the light hand, the gentle touch. It is the wisdom of reserve, the virtue of silence. It is the quintessential symbol of spiritual transformation, resulting from the careful alchemy of the heart and the mind, carried out with moderation and precision. So it does not mean wait, okay? It's signaling a way for you to move through. Now I'm going to tell you, it has everything to do with balance, okay? Divinatory meanings, spiritual protection. That is your number one definition when you see temperance. You know why? Because temperance is usually either, in this one I believe it's Mars, the winged god, but in a lot of books it will be an angel. Okay, it says you're protected right now. You're in a tough situation, but you are protected right now. I need you to use your wits. Okay, I'm gonna read you the rest of it. Okay, sorry. Reserve. Okay, tranquility. It could just mean you're in a peaceful place. Moderation. There's a reason why it's moderation, because there's one foot in land and one foot on water. Neither foot is all the way on in any element. Okay, so you need to learn how to be balanced between the two. Okay, communication. Water always means communication. This is where it comes in, where it says symbology and symbolism are king in any divination field. Okay. A peaceful mind, creative work, sobriety, healing. Okay. That there is a serene presence around you. Now, that's peace. That's still not patience. A helpful guardian, that's one I often tell people. When you see temperance, it could mean that you have a guardian with you, working with you right now. um a reconciliation, because of the alchemy that's going on in the card. There is one vessel being poured into the next. It means that one thing is being changed into the next. Okay. That's a big definition that I use for this card as well. Okay. That there's some sort of transformation at foot. Okay. And a compromise. Now that could be linked to patience a little bit, and keeping a careful guard over your emotional waters. So, long story short, um, temperance doesn't mean what most of your favorite readers believe temperance means. Now, if you're reading intuitively and you were just looking at the pictures, you might think it means it's time to move forward. It's time to if I was reading the card intuitively because he has wings in his Mars, it may mean that it's time for me to move forward in a battle. I could think that it means it's time for me to get away totally. I could mean that it's saying I'm thinking it means I'm caught up in some sort of war and it's time for me to transfer or transmute that energy into good energy and move on to the next station. Like, this battle is done. Quit digging your feet in just for the sake of digging your feet in. But if you are assigning a definition to a card and reading it that way every time, I kind of feel like you need to give us the work. We need to see the research. Because I definitely give cards different meanings, but there's the research. I just pet peeve of mine, and I feel like if you're new and you want to be serious about it, the definitions do matter. They do matter. When someone creates a system of divination, uh, especially things like this with illustration that are full of symbolism, it's because the symbols mean something. Symbols have power because of their repetitive meanings. You pour the energy into it. We all pour the energy into it, and it becomes that thing. There are so many readers now, and I think it's a beautiful thing, but at the same time, I feel like a lot of this new generation is really missing out on the basis. How does your system work? How do cards work? How does divination work? How does time work? Because people are coming on your page and they want to know what's going to happen in the next 3 months. Well, okay, so you saying you can give them the answers, but do you have any idea how time works? I'm not saying that you have to know how every form of divination works, because claircognizance totally goes against all of that. Okay, claircognizance, that's a gift that I have too. It cannot be explained. There are things that just come to you and you know them. You know them and you roll with them, and it is important that you just roll with them. Now, that's true intuitive being, okay? But when we're talking about a symbolic system, I'm going to need you to want to know the symbols. Why are they there? Okay? The moment you figure out the symbols, you don't need the textbook anymore. That is the textbook, okay? You can move between multiple systems, different countries, different languages. You don't need to know the language, honey. You don't need the textbook. You don't need it translated because you know the pictures. You understand what I'm saying? Okay. In conclusion, because I got to wrap this shit up. Y'all know I don't like long videos. In conclusion, so you want to get into cartomancy. Well, welcome. Welcome to the deep, dark rabbit hole. Because, yes, it's fun. If you ever read Alice in Wonderland, that bitch was having fun. But at the same time, she was frightened. There were dangers. There were rewards. She grew. She found her own strength. But there were many times when she didn't know where she was going or what she was doing, and there was danger ever present. I don't feel like enough people warn you that divination is a lifestyle that is not all roses, baby. It's not. And the deeper you go, the deeper it gets, and the more you start to understand the nature of things. And the nature of things can be very scary when you've been led to believe the world works one way and it works a total another. So just keep that in mind. Decide your communication style when you begin. And please, please, please make a point to study symbols. No matter which of these systems you choose, and I would suggest a deck of cards first. Just get yourself a deck of cards. Think of some principles. If you watch enough pick of cards, you know what type of shit you want to hear. You want to hear the queen. You want to hear the king. You want to hear love. You want to hear money. You want to hear success. You want to hear raise. You want write those things on a card until you get a 52 set of cards, or 54 if you want to include your jokers, which I do, and read that way. And in the meantime, study symbolism. Best way to study symbolism: dream dictionaries. You don't need the pictures when you first start studying symbolism. If you need the pictures, that's fine. Get you a dream dictionary with the pictures. I understand that some people definitely learn better when they have imagery. It burns itself in their brain better. I get it. Or draw the picture. Read the symbol, write what it is, what it means, and draw a quick little picture if it makes it, sit in your head. But please, please, please be sure to study symbolism as you begin any system. And that's all I gotta say. I'm gonna do the next video on, I believe, shuffling cards, handling your cards, caring for your cards, what to do if you get something on your cards, things like that. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoy this. I think I'm going to do a quick reading today too. I'm not sure, but I did say I was going to start doing more talking about the actual reading on the channel and do what I was supposed to be doing. I know my spirit guys is somewhere like, woo, yes, this bitch is finally doing what she's supposed to be doing. But I'm a little hard-headed and I do things the way I want to do them sometimes, and then eventually I do it the way it's supposed to be done. That's why I'm trying to tell you the way it's supposed to be done, so I can maybe save you some time. If not, do it my way. Learn the hard way. Most of us did learn the hard way before the internet. Man, y'all just don't know what type of resources y'all have at y'all's hands. Whew. All right, see you guys in the next video.
Thank you for coming out. This concludes our message. Love is love, and let love shine.